C-Doc again.
Yes, y'all. To the beach, y'all. Camera's a little messed up. What's up, everybody? Tuesday night. My camera's not right. That rhyme. It's C-Doc again. Thank you for joining us for another episode. My name is C-Doc. I'm the host of the show. And if you don't know, I'm a producer, filmmaker, president of the Spitslam record label group. Ooh, little mic pop there. Owned by Chuck D, Public Enemy, the legend himself. We do what we can. And I have a couple of co-hosts on my show, including our head of social media, our man from the land down under, which is Louisville, Kentucky. So chuckified.
Down under what?
Cincinnati?
Yeah, we're down under Cincinnati. What's up, y'all? I actually posted on social media today. I thought you'd be
I know. I was going to applaud your efforts.
It only took me an hour and a half to figure it out.
It was great. I in fact, it was so dope. I stole it and put it on my page too. So.
Oh, good. I'm a huge believer in repurposing.
Yes. We
I repurpose PowerPoint slides all the time.
We're hip hop, man. Hip hop's all about repurposing.
That's right.
You know?
It's always like, haven't I seen that slide deck before? I was like, no, dude, that's a sample. I sampled it.
There you go. Exactly. Exactly. Also tonight we have our lady from the heyday of K-Day who got her start in hip hop, legendary hip hop radio from the West Side, Jennifer Jenny.
Exactly.
Okay.
What's happening, homegirl?
Not a whole hell of a lot.
Right on.
You're chewing Redman tobacco, or you got a Jolly Rancher?
No, I have a mint.
Oh,
Mint.
Is that all right with you?
I guess.
It's sophisticated.
Yes.
Yeah. Have y'all tried one of those new chips that everybody's talking about? Are like $9 for one chip.
No.
Like some kind of hot chip challenge or something.
Oh, no.
These damn
You don't want to do
TikTokers.
that.
They're wrapping
That's
it up for-
old anyway. It's old, but because it's been happening for quite some time.
We just got them in Louisville. I just started seeing these racks, and I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah, no.
Of
Mm-mm.
$9 chips?
Yeah, and I looked and I was like, "God damn, it's $8.99 for one chip."
Are they
Something
Yeah.
big? No, it's
No.
just like a regular tortilla chip.
But it, it's about that big. But it,
That sounds like a personal problem.
are they right? Well,
Do you eat them and you shit gold or something? I'm trying to justify the
case,
cost.
I'll go buy the rack.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say they're made by. They're made with exactly Knackwurst. Is it like Carolina Reaper
Oh, yeah, that's right.
chilies or but something that's so ridiculous. I don't know what the point is because they'll burn your face off.
Yeah. Okay.
The only good thing to come out of Carolina is jackfruit front.
Right?
Right.
Damn straight. Show him the shirt, Jen. There you go.
That's right.
There he is.
Repping the gag foul, y'all.
Yay, foul, y'all.
Can we just before we discuss
Thank you.
Carolina and whatever, what?
No, I know where you're going, and I was hoping you would.
Where am I going?
You're going to
Julio?
tell us about, yes, your friend who
Yeah.
rest in power.
Yep. Shout out. Shout out. Rest in power. Rest in peace. Rest in beats. The amazing Coolio. Yeah. Yep.
Jen,
That's a
do you
hell
have
of a
any
loss.
Coolio stories?
Do I have any Coolio stories? I knew Coolio before anybody knew Coolio. Coolio started out with us at the radio station in the performing arts program. And the funniest thing I can ever tell you is we would all be standing out in the parking lot of the radio station waiting. If is everybody here? Are we ready to leave? Nope, we're still waiting for Coolio. And up at K-Day sat on it was clear up a hill, a very, very steep hill. And so coming up about 5-10 minutes later, here comes this convertible Cadillac with Coolio and his buddy, who I'm remembering his name was Spoony G. Not
the Spoony G.
Yeah. But always made an entrance. Good old Coolio.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, Coolio, they probably know him from Gangster's Paradise. But if you know, you got to go back. He goes back further than that, WC in the Mad Circle.
Yeah, Mad Circle.
He goes back way further than that. Yeah. We're talking. I was talking to the man who ran the public affairs department at K-Day the other day because I had to call him and tell him about Coolio. And we surmised that we've known Coolio for 39 years.
Wow. Damn.
No.
That's a long time.
Yep.
You're fucking old, Jenny.
Coolio shared a birthday with two of our pals, Mr. Chuck D and Professor Griff, August 1st.
Oh wow.
Yep.
That's some good company right there.
And Chris Payne from
And Chris Payne. God dang.
Yep. August 1st. August 1st birthdays.
The one thing I'm not, and I'm glad everybody's being really respectful of Coolio, because there was somebody on Instagram who was not.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
And we're not going to go there.
Nope. We're not going to talk about that. Not going to give credence to these fools.
Right.
So
I need a search t-shirt that says "Stop making stupid people famous."
That's right.
Well, if you could get Search's ass on the show, we could probably hit him up.
Search doesn't want it. Search doesn't want to talk to anybody.
I don't know. He's too busy dealing in Ethereum.
Well, he just put out a new song.
Yes, he did.
Produced by our homie Chrome. So
yes, he
shout
did.
out to Chrome.
MC Search did?
Yeah.
Really?
Search, featuring Bobby J from Rockaway.
I was gonna say Search and somebody else.
Yeah, Bobby J from Rockaway, produced by Chrome. So shout out to Chrome, getting the work done.
Chrome,
putting in work.
Speaking of putting in work, I was gonna talk about records that came out on this day in hip hop history, but we'll get to that later because we got a guy in our green room that has put in a lot of work over the years. We're going to talk about that. We might as well bring him on instead of wasting time. Let's just get into it. So
let's do it.
Yeah, he has so many. He gives Kool Keith a run for his money on the terms of aliases, because I'm still learning about aliases this guy has. So, ladies and gentlemen, he was a special guest on the M-Rock episode a couple weeks back, and here he is, Phill Most Chill.
Woo! Party people, how's everybody doing?
Doing all right, sir. How are you?
I'm chilling. I'm good, man. Good to be here.
Well, you are Phill Most Chill, so I would expect nothing less.
So sure.
Sorry,
He's like, I'm not even responding to that.
Yeah, no, it was bad. Okay. All right.
It was funny. No, it was very funny.
Thank you for being kind.
Don't
Thank you for
humor
being
him.
kind.
I do have to say this, Phil. My daughter was running cross country tonight, and so my wife's always like, "Who's on the show tonight?" And I was like, "This cat, Phill Most Chill." She's like, "I haven't heard of you." And I showed her your Instagram where you're wearing the red hat. She's like, "He looks all right." I was like,
Wow.
She's like,
You look like I lost you. Huh?
Oh,
He missed the punchline. Damn.
no. I think our
yeah.
internet's being wonky tonight.
It could be. Could be. We'll wait till Phil comes back.
Rim shot.
wait till
Takes wisdom.
there he is.
There he is. Okay.
But we
got
can't
you
hear
back.
you though.
Yeah.
Can't hear you though.
Yeah, he'll get the audio. Ultra Mag 7 in the house. Wisdom Beats in the house. Knack as usual.
I got to tell
What up?
DJ
Wisdom
Snafu.
apologies. I said that the only good thing to come out of North Carolina was the Ag-Fu front. Wisdom Beats is in North Carolina.
That's true. Shout out to Wisdom Beats.
That's right.
Shout out to Wisdom Beats. Got to get Wisdom Beats on the show. There you
Yeah.
go. I'm just letting you know.
There you go, Wisdom Beats.
We're going to be giving you a call here.
What the hell?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I feel like StreamYard's been wonky today. I was working on a project at work with StreamYard today, and the audio was just fucked up. I don't know what was wrong.
It?
Yeah.
Is it Mercury retrograde going on?
I think that's
like
over.
the last 2 years.
Yeah, I know, right?
I think it was
Mercury.
until October 2nd.
Oh, so we're on the other side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you know?
Warming up for the fall equinox.
Yep.
Hello.
All right.
There we go.
Looks like I'm back.
All
Sorry
right.
about that. I don't know what happened.
That's all right.
Good.
This show is famously nicknamed "It's Sound Problems Again." So,
Right.
it's all good. It's all good.
All right, so where were we?
Yeah, Chuck.
Yes.
Go ahead. Tell your story again, Chuck.
So I don't know where it cut out, but my daughter's running cross country tonight. My wife always asks who's going to be on the show, and I was like, "Oh, it's Phill Most Chill," and she was like, "I haven't heard of him." I was like, "Well, here's a photo from his Instagram." She's like, "Oh, all right, he looks cool."
Needless
Okay,
to say.
there we go.
Needless
That's
to
better than
say.
not looking cool.
Yeah. Well, I think there was more behind it.
Oh, okay. All right.
All
Okay.
right, he looks cool. Last second,
cool.
she saved her ass.
Cool.
Anyway, you're a heartthrob, Phil. What can we say?
Oh,
There you
wow.
go.
How about that?
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
You didn't even know. That's the beautiful part.
I had no idea.
Well, now,
But I'll
now you
take
do. Now you can. Our homie Ultramag 7 says he got some old rap sheet magazines with Phill Most Chill articles in it.
Oh, yeah. I used to write for Rap Sheet back in the 90s.
Nice.
Oh,
Neat.
I have a couple of those somewhere. I'll have
Okay.
to dig them out. Yeah. Man, you have had quite the career, bro. I mean, so let's get into the aliases real quick because I'm always fascinated by that. Why all the different aliases? Like, what was your thinking behind that?
Okay, so let's break down what the aliases even are. First of
Sure.
all, so there's Phill Most Chill, of course. Then there's I recorded Baritone Tip Love, which was like a novelty type of thing where I performed doing two different characters, and that was just being creative. It wasn't really meant to be an alias. It was just a project I did, just doing some things and saying some things that I wouldn't say or do as Phill Most Chill. Just
Gotcha.
being different, being creative, that's all. And then after that, you have Soul Man. And that's when I kind of transitioned from being a rapper or trying to, do my rap thing into pretty much I became a avid record collector, breakbeat collector. And I started making mixtapes. And I used that name for those mixtapes, Soul Man, World of Beats.
Well, the beats, right.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's really where that came from. It wasn't really me trying to do anything all that special. Pretty much, I wasn't rapping anymore. So now I'm Soul Man, and Baritone Tip Love was just like a little side project I did.
Excellent. And then and we'll get into that, the Soul Man World Beast, because until recently I didn't even realize that was you. But
yeah. A lot of people don't know. They're like, oh wait, that's the same dude? Really?
It's the same dude,
Yeah.
right?
Same dude. Yeah.
So okay, well then I guess we gotta get a little backstory. You put out your first record in 87?
Okay.
Or 89.
You're right there. You're right on both sides of it. 88.
88. Okay. I knew I was close.
Yeah. My actual first record contract was in 85. And that was with Cutting Records, which at that time was probably like one of the best known rap labels in New York.
Yeah.
You know, there's the early days of rap and everything. But that record never came out. So and that was with me and my cousin Russ, who we were the Devastating Two, and that didn't work out. So later on, 88, that's when we decided to put out our own record on our own label, and that was On Tempo Jack, Phill Most Chill On Tempo Jack. So that's pretty much the beginning of everything right there.
And that was a single, and then when did sorry, I gotta look it up. And then was Baritone Tip Love came after that? Shortly thereafter.
All right. So around the time that I was doing the Phill Most Chill stuff, 88, I also was doing the Baritone Tip Love stuff.
Oh,
so
okay, at the same time.
Well, yeah, I had demos for all that stuff.
Gotcha.
But the Baritone Tip Love album and single didn't come out until 1991, technically. Really, it was like 1992, but if you look at the records and the tape and everything, it'll say 1991, but it didn't really get released till 92.
Gotcha. And that was your because we had talked about it before, your PE style kind of Bomb Squad, throw all the samples at the wall kind of thing record and all the breaks and stuff.
Absolutely, that was 100% influenced by what the Bomb Squad was doing. I loved Nation of Millions and then Fear of a Black Planet. I thought the production was unbelievable. And then also Ice Cube's album, the America's Most Wanted album. Yes. Yeah, all those records just blew me away. And I wanted to do something that was like that. I couldn't do it, to the level they did it, but I did my own version of something where I like just samples all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So that was like right up my alley since, I was becoming a real avid breakbeat and record collector. So yeah, throw the kitchen sink at them. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, man, that record is crazy. So you did it justice. You did that style justice because I listened to it. Right, sure. I think it was the day after we did the M-Rock episode a couple weeks back. I was like, damn, man. I had heard it before, but I hadn't heard it in a while, and I was like, God damn, man, he really went there with it.
I went there, because what had happened, like when I did my Baritone Tip Love initially, it was more just like regular hip hop type stuff. In fact, those records ended up coming out later on DWG, just like a few years ago, actually.
Yeah.
But like, I wasn't really getting anywhere with that. Like, I actually had offers for record deals and everything, doing it in that style, but just never came through. That's a whole other story. But I decided after hearing America's Most Wanted, I said, you know what? I'm just going to go there with it. I'm going to talk about whatever. and I'm just going to go buck wild with it. And that's what came from it, the Living Foul album.
Living Foul, yeah. Wow. That's great. It's also great that you did the multiple voices. I always thought that was dope.
Yeah, and that came from me just having a little 4-track recorder in my house.
Yeah.
And just decided just to play around with it. Let me create these two characters, one with a high voice, one with a low voice. And just, it became really just a fun thing to do. I wasn't even really thinking, I'm going to really make records with this. Right. I didn't know what I was going to do with it. It was just really just having fun. And people started to like it. And, from there, came out with the record and everything.
Yeah, that's what's up. I think any of us that had the 4-track recorders that had the variable pitch speed tried that at some point in time. I know I got old recordings way back in the day where we were doing it too. So, yep. And Ultramag says Phill is the OG Quasimodo. That's right. You know,
Ultra Mag, what's up, my man?
Yep. So, so yeah, and I believe you said the last time you were on the show that all the samples really gave the release of that album some issues, right? There were some problems with them trying to clear all the samples.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's the main reason that we didn't go further with it, because this was right around the time when all the sample lawsuits were coming out, Bismarcky and De La Soul and everything.
Yeah.
So labels were really interested in the music, but then after those lawsuits hit and they saw all the samples I was using, because I actually had everything like written down, and it was like a book. It was like a book of samples. It was like probably 1,000 samples.
Right.
and they just said, yeah, we can't do that. You know what I mean? That more than anything else is probably the reason why we never really went further with it, just because it's too much samples.
Yeah. But that is that era, man. Like, I'll put Living Foul up there with the records of those time, you know, the Paul's Boutique. And and Nations, more to the point, Fear, because I think Fear of a Black Planet has more samples than Nations does, but it hangs in there. It hangs in there with them.
I'm glad you mentioned Paul's Boutique too, because that was a big influence on me too. That was another record that just blew my mind, you know. And at that time, it wasn't as popular as the stuff the Beasties did before.
Right.
But I thought it was a masterpiece, you know.
Yeah, it was. I remember because I felt the same way when it took me a while to get hip to License to Ill, you know, because it just felt a little too jokey to me. And because I was listening to LL and BDP and all this stuff, and I'm like, I like Brass Monkey and Paul Revere's cool, but when Hey Ladies dropped, I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is something else. They got something else, and it had I remember I got the cassette that it was Hey Ladies and Shake Your Rump, and I was just like, yo, this is some other stuff. So yeah, that record.
Yeah, and you talk about sample usage. Yeah, they knocked it out the box with what they were doing.
Yeah.
With, again, just layers and layers of samples, and all that stuff influenced me, and I'm thinking, all right, this is how you make music.
Right. So what kind of, now it's easier to do that stuff today. What kind of equipment were you using back in the day?
Okay, so originally, like say on the On Tempo Jacks record, all I had at that time was my little Tascam 4-track, and I had a Casio RZ1 sampling drum machine. That's all I had, and turntables.
And turntables, yeah.
And that was it. So that was a thing of really trying to layer all the different sounds and make use of that little bit of sampling time that was on the RZ1.
Yeah.
And just make something that's really raw and just pure hip hop. You know, so that's all you could do with that. Then after that, I said, I got to step it up. So by the time I got to the Living Foul album, I'd upgraded. I got the Akai S950 sampler. And I used the RZ1 to trigger the samples. And I forget, I had something else I used for sequence that I don't even remember. But and that was it. That was pretty much it, man. I didn't get too deep into a lot of the other things people were using. I kept it as simple as possible. Kept it real basic. And that was it.
Wow, that's crazy that you recorded that record like that. Wow, that's amazing.
And by the way, also, I didn't even have like real speakers or anything for a lot of that.
Yeah.
I had everything hooked up to my box, my boom box. Yeah, I had one of the big boom boxes, the old Helix joint. I might have had the Canyon, which is the same thing. I can't remember which one I had.
Yeah.
The one with the burglar alarm on it or whatever. Yeah, it's a huge box, and I had everything hooked up to that.
Wow.
And that's how I was making music, man. And I didn't have that many crates of records back in those days. I had maybe a few crates.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when you don't have a lot, you can be even more creative because you're forced to be more creative. You know what I mean? Because you
Yes.
don't have all the great equipment. You don't have a whole room full of records. You have what you have, and you got to make the best out of it. So, that's what I did.
Yo, man, there's a certain element of rawness, of spontaneity to working like that.
No doubt.
That you can't capture any other way, you know?
Absolutely.
I got a beat I've been chasing for the last 25 years that I made on the 4-track with a what was that? It was a Roland sampler, but I was just triggering it by hand. I can't recreate it. I can't recreate it because it has such a loose vibe to it.
Yeah.
It's all in sync, but it's still loose, and it's just like I've never been able to recreate. I just had to let it go. I'm like, either strip it right off the 4-track or just don't worry about it.
And that's the thing. It's like you just like you said, you can trigger everything and you're right on time with it, but that human feel that might make it off just that tiny little bit will give it a more realistic feel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think I've heard Chuck or somebody else say that the first Public Enemy record was done like that, where they just triggered it live. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I've heard that.
Yeah. PE number 1, they had Flavor play the drums to tape on the drum machine. He played the drum machine to tape.
Okay,
like
right.
And that's why the drums, if you listen to the drums on PE number 1, they're Public Enemy number 1, they're off a little bit in certain spots. Yep.
And those are some of the dopest drums in hip hop history.
Yeah.
To this day, those are some of the dopest drums. So, that's the thing that I always love, that human feel, even to this day. Sometimes when somebody will make a beat for me and it'll feel too programmed and too rigid,
Yeah.
And I'm like, you just got to give me a break. Just give me a loop of break.
Yeah, right. Yep.
And just give me that feel. You know what I'm saying? So it feels more live and more human,
Yep.
So Phil, you, to my knowledge at least, were one of the first to have to speed up your beats, right? For your baritone character. Is that correct?
I don't know of anybody who did it before me. Yeah, I did that totally on my own. Nobody I can think of was doing that.
So tell us about that, because I was doing a little research and read that if you messed up, you had to go do the whole thing over again. So like, how many takes did you have to do on some tracks?
Yeah, and that's true, because I'm using the little Tascam 4-track, which, this is not high, real good recording equipment. I mean, it's all right, but it's not top of the line stuff. So like, it was one of those things where you couldn't punch in. If you make a mistake, ain't no punching in. The punch in is going to be all messed up if you try to do it. It's going to sound crazy. So yeah, I would have to. And if you listen to some of those songs now, you can kind of tell where certain things are a little sloppy. They could have been done a little bit better, but I was like, nah, let me just, I had the right energy for this take. I'm just going to leave it as it is. You know what I mean? Yeah, because there was no going back. It's like, sometimes I would do multiple takes, but I didn't do a whole lot of takes on anything. You know what I mean? At a certain point, once I felt I had the right energy and had the right feel, even if I might have kind of blurred and slurred a word here or there, I just left it. I said, nah, that's all right. That's hip hop. That's real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you do it live and you make a little mistake, all right, it's just on there. You know, but it doesn't take away from, or it shouldn't take away from what you're doing, as long as you got the right feeling for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but those BPMs were way up there, right?
Oh yeah. and the thing about it, what I would do, I think about it now, is like, what was I even thinking? It's like, for the beats with baritone, where I had to speed it up so he'd have the low voice, I would always give him like fast beats to rhyme to. So it's a fast beat already, and now I'm turning the speed up even more. So I'm like, I'm rapping at like 180 beats per minute, maybe, or something. It's like crazy. So when you hear that stuff and you hear some little blurs and slurs in the vocals, I mean, hey, look, I think I did pretty good, all things considered. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was difficult to do. And if I could do it again, I said, no, let me give him the slow beats.
You-
And I give the other guy the fast beats. But
Right.
it's what
I'm
it is.
gonna throw this banner back up for folks because I really appreciated this WordPress site, that realshit.wordpress.com. I love how you outline the whole story, how you talked about your your process, and you kind of name check Eric's sermon about work for him, So
Right.
if I slur a couple of words here and there, it's all right.
Oh, Eric was one of the dopest, man. His stuff was fantastic.
Yeah. That's
That's it.
cool, man.
That's great. I'll tell you what, man, that record sounds fantastic for being recorded on a 4-track. I mean, it really
in my
sounds
house.
good.
In my
that's
house.
crazy.
Yep.
Never would have guessed that.
Now the thing about it, though, although it was recorded in my house, we did go to like some real good studios for mixing it.
Yeah.
We went to, I think, 39th Street in New York. Trying to think, or was it that or Green Street? I can't remember. We went to good studios.
Okay.
And we had Eli Tuba, I hope I'm saying his name right, who mixed it. And he's a well-known name in as far as engineering back in those days. He did like the Eric B. and Rakim stuff and a lot of big records back in those days, big hip hop records.
Yeah.
So he did sweeten it up, and being in a good studio made it a little bit better. But now all recorded at home, holding a mic in my hand when I'm rhyming. It wasn't even a mic stand or anything. I'm just holding it in my hand, and it's like a Shure. What are they? The SM58 mics.
Yeah, the old vocal mics. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like stage mics. They're not
Yep.
even for recording vocals on, but that's what I used, and I was cool with how it came out.
That's so
You
dope,
can kill
man.
a person with those. I mean, those things are like you can beat the hell out of them.
Oh hell yeah. I think mine. I think I still have that mic. It's got dents in it from. I don't know if it's from dropping it or hitting somebody in the head with it. I don't even know. But yeah, they're like war horses.
Yeah, they're great mics, man. I've gone through 4 or 5 of those joints over the years. But sometimes it's just they give that it's a good vocal mic, and then you get a good sound out of it. That sometimes that's all you need.
No doubt.
Yep. So then after that, was it around then that you went on a rhyme hiatus, so to speak?
Yeah, after the Baritone Tip Love record came out, we did everything we could do with that. It was on Easy Street Records, which they put out some hip hop records back in the days, but they were mostly a dance music label.
Okay.
And not taking anything from them, but I don't think they really knew what to do with it. And then when you had the whole issue with the samples and everything, it just it did what it did. It got heard all around the world and all over the country and everything. Got played. Kid Capri brought me up to BLS in New York and interviewed me for the record because he was playing it. Shout out to Kid Caprice. He was playing the record just on the strength of liking it. It wasn't like any payola or anything like that. He liked the record and just played it. So the record did a little bit. It got a little bit of notoriety for me, but it went as far as it could go, and that was it. Yeah. So after that, I kind of thought that the music was changing. The sound of music was changing. What I really liked in hip hop was going somewhere else. And I said, well, and I was getting older too. So I said, back in those days, you couldn't even fathom somebody being in their 40s or 50s or, rhyming, being an MC. You couldn't even fathom it back in those days because it just hadn't been done yet. So I'm thinking, all right, it's time for me to get out of the rap thing. So I said, let me go to producing. So I started making beats for people. And then I got the opportunity to write for Rap Sheet. And that led to a lot of other things, so that became where I transitioned from Phill Most Chill to Phill Most, the Soul Man, for when I wrote for Rap Sheet. And then that led to me doing the other stuff that I did after that.
Yeah.
And that started with a comic strip, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because what happened when I was doing Baritone Tip Love, I used to do one sheets, which was promoting the record. And I did comic strips. Like even inside the tape for Living Foul, there's a comic strip inside of that. And they saw that at Rap Sheet and offered me a chance to do a comic strip for them. So yeah, that's where it started with True Urban Funnies. And from
cool.
there they asked me, was I interested in actually writing anything, like doing interviews and stuff like that. I said, yeah, I could do that too, because I actually, when my little bit of time I was in college, I wrote some papers that were done in interview form, and my professor said, yo, this is good enough. You could, do this professionally. This could be in a magazine. So I said, all right, maybe I can do that as well. So I started doing interviews and writing columns for Rap Sheet.
Wow, that's dope.
So cool.
Yeah, that's dope. I have
Yeah.
to. I got to go back. I got to go back and look at my old rap sheets, because I do remember seeing your name. Now that I think about it, but it's been a while. I gotta find them. Jeez, I don't know where those are.
And while I'm on the subject of that, the next phase came from I did a interview with was a couple of them, really. I did one with Diamond D, where Diamond is real cool. That's my man to this day. But while interviewing him, I know he's all about digging in the crates, all about beats and everything. We just started talking about beats and about records and everything. And I actually saved that. I didn't put it in that interview, but I saved it. And also I had a interview I did with Pete Rock. And when I started listing some of the stuff that he had sampled and everything. And from there, they said, or I don't know if they asked me or if I came up with it myself. I said, I could do a column about digging in the crates, about beats, which had never really been done before. So that led to the next thing I did, which was the World of Beats column, which became like kind of a big deal at that time. You know what I mean? People tell me to this day they bought Rap Sheet just so they could see the World of Beats column. And some people tell me they didn't even buy the magazine or newspaper, which is really what it was. Right. They would just go to the store and rip my page out of it and leave the store with the ripped out page. You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So then you started doing. So we'll get into the Soul Man World Beats. I got I have one. I got the Soul Man's Choice joints. There you go.
Okay.
If anybody can see that. Yeah, because it had a break on it that I was looking for. So thank you for that.
Okay. All right. You need anything, let me know.
Oh, of course. So yeah, what was the so what got you started on making the mixtapes? I mean, and they were like breakbeat mixtapes, they're which was kind of an original thing at the time.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to act like I was the only person doing it. There were other people who were doing it.
Yeah.
Well, what I would do, I'm buying all these records. I'm collecting breaks. I'm learning more about the whole, that whole subgenre of hip hop. And what I would do is I would put the music on tape so I could, when I rode around in my car, I could actually listen to the music. Because this wasn't enough time. When I'm home, I'm actually making beats or I'm doing whatever else I'm doing. And I'm not going to have time to listen to all these records, all this music. So I would put it on tapes and I'd ride around just, when I'm going here and there and playing this music. And I'd have my friends in the car with me and they'd say, yo, what is that? Yo, let me get that tape. I want that, So it developed from something I did just for myself. And then I realized, hey, there are other people out here who might want to hear this stuff too. So that's when I got started doing the Archaeologist Classic series. That was all just for me. And then I ended up selling them later on. What happened after that, started doing the Soul Man World of Beats mix CDs. And there were other people who were doing these too. There was the Adventures in Sample Land joint. My guys, Supreme LaRock and Jake One, they had the Con Men. They came out like they were doing theirs at the same time I was doing my first Soul Man World of Beats. But they put theirs out first. But so it was a few people around that time who were doing it.
Okay, I think I'd only heard of yours maybe because of the rap sheet, because you already had the rap sheet column. So
okay, yeah, no,
Yeah.
there was a little subculture there where that was becoming a thing, and after that, more and more people started doing it. You had Muro was doing them. Khan and
Right.
Amir came out; they were doing them, and a lot of us were probably just doing the same thing at the same time and didn't even know the other people were doing it. So there's probably to this day probably a little bit of debate about who came out first, but I know for sure Sample Land came out I think years before, and Common and the Common joints came out like right before mine did.
Okay.
And also I gotta give a shout out to my guy Benny B from ABB Records, who he let me hear some of his tapes. He had a radio show out in Berkeley, and he let me hear some of his tapes. And again, I'm blown away because his knowledge of records was like way beyond anything I knew of. People like him and Supreme LaRock were just they're like the dudes who really taught me about records. You know what I mean? So all those guys, it really influenced me as well. You know what I mean? And got me going in that direction.
Yeah. Wow. That's super dope.
So
Do you go ahead, Chuck?
No, go ahead, C-Doc.
No, I was just gonna say, do you still dig? Do you still collect records?
I still dig for music. I don't dig for records anymore.
Okay.
So I know that's blasphemous to some people who follow my career and everything and who are familiar. Like Never Stop Digging, that was one of my bigger mixtapes I did. A lot of people know from that. And so now the guy who said Never Stop Digging isn't digging anymore, really? And yeah, but you move on, and life happens. And me and my wife had children. Once I had children, my whole focus changed. You know what I mean? It wasn't about just going out all the time. Because I was crazy with the digging, man. Digging for records, I was crazy with it. I was insane with it, like a beast, really. It took it to ridiculous limits, and I couldn't keep doing that because even after my daughter was born, I'd be out at record shows and stuff, or in record stores, with the baby, with the stroller. You know what I mean? And records are dirty, man. Records are filthy. I shouldn't be like, giving my daughter her binky with these dirty hands. Just went through all these dusty crates of records, So I had to pull back from all that and get my priorities straight. And that's what I did.
My question was kind of related to that.
Okay.
You were kind of known as a vinyl snob, right? Because you only wanted original vinyl, right?
I probably was known as a snob, but no, I got my reissues too. I would get reissues, and I get compilations as well. Now, when I did like the Soul Man World of Beats tapes, that was definitely a thing. No, you violating if you use reissues or compilations. You got to use all originals. Gotcha. So for those, I did use all originals. For the Archaeologist classics that I was doing for myself, yeah, some of those they might have been reissues or compilations. Listen, the thing for me is the music. Yes. If I can't get it any other way, I'm going to get it however I have to get it. I don't care if it's original, if it's a reissue, it's a compilation, if it's bootleg, if it's a tape, a cassette deck, 8-track tape or something. I don't care what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Overdub that's been overdubbed 3 or 4 times. I don't care. I'm going to get the music anyway. And like now, that's why I'm okay with MP3s. I know a lot of the purists will be like, you can't. That's not the way to do it. I don't care if that's how I can get the music and it's a good quality MP3. I'm cool with it. I'll never say that it's the same as getting that vinyl in your hand where you can really look at the cover, you can smell the vinyl and all that. It's not the same, but it's good enough for me at this stage in my life. I've done the other thing, so I'm leaving records out there for other people to get. There you go.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You're welcome.
Yeah. When I find the rare one, I'll give a shout out to you, Phil.
Yeah, there you go. I have recently allowed myself to start sampling stuff from YouTube. For years I just wouldn't do it, and like people would say, like Chuck would send me, hey, sample this. I'm like, I can't sample off of YouTube, man, come on. It's like just feel awful about it. But now I'm just like, if that's where I gotta get it, that's where I gotta get it.
Well, to be honest, I don't do that, but
yeah, okay.
I don't go that far. But
yo, man, it's hard to do.
Listen, get it however you have to. You know, if you need it, because especially if you're producing something, who's gonna know? Yeah. Really, who's going? Oh, you're gonna know. You're the only one who's gonna know. Nobody else cares. Nobody else cares about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. If the joint is dope, what's it matter? You know.
Exactly. So you cool with me sampling off of YouTube? Like I said, I don't do it, but if that's what you need to do what you have to do, no doubt.
Yep. And I'll tell you what, man, it was really hard for me to like wrap my head around doing that, you know, because Daddy-O would send me, he's like, yo, loop this up, and I'm like, and then I had to be like, okay, either I gotta go like get this record or see if I can at least get like a 320 download of it or something.
Yeah.
And, you know, at the very least. But
I think that's all right. If you see it on YouTube, all right, but then try to find it, you know, a better quality joint, find a FLAC or find you know. Yep. That's my rules. Again, the purists are still gonna be like, no, that's not good enough. You got to get the real deal.
Yeah.
But,
you got to do what you got to do in these days and times.
The princess and the pea. He knows. Yeah, it's he's the only one that knows that kills him.
Yeah, man, it drives me nuts. But sometimes they're just like, but
gotta do it.
Got to do it. So all right. So then it begs the question, man, Phil, what sparked the return to the mic?
Okay, that's a good question. Yeah, after all these years, like, why would you come back to it now when you already you quit because you felt you were getting too old back then? Why would you do it now? So what happened? That On Tempo Jack record, like when we first did that in '88, that was kind of like, I mean, I wanted to make a record, no doubt. But it also was like my brother and his boy were kind of doing I mean, he doesn't mind me saying it now. He was running a drug operation from New York to DC, and the label we were doing, it was kind of like a front for what they were doing. I didn't really want to. I wasn't involved in any of that. That's not my world at all. And the thing for me, I wanted to try to get my brother out of that lifestyle. So I'm thinking, let's make some records. But that didn't happen. But so at that time, the On Tempo Jack record didn't really go anywhere. We tried to get it to some radio stations. They were acting like they wanted us to pay to play it. Like, I'm not doing that. So the record just really didn't go anywhere. What happens though, fast forward to, I think it was around 2003, somewhere there in the 2000s, people discovered a record. You know, record collectors, they discover it. You know, people started like emailing me like, Phil, I heard you made this record. You got any copies of it? I said, yeah, I'll send you one. So then a few more people started hitting me up, and I was like, okay, something's going on here. Found out the record is now very valuable. It's worth a lot of money. It's going for a lot of money. Yeah. So now, because it's a big deal now among collectors, there became more interest in Phill Most Chill and you know what I had done in the past. So DWG, Diggers with Gratitude, over in the UK, they hit me up and said, hey, Phil, you know, we'd like to, even before that, Traffic Entertainment, they got with me to do a reissue, and we reissued it. And that was, I guess that was 2002, 2003. I don't remember exactly. But then DWG got with me, and they said, hey, do you have any more stuff that was unreleased from back in that time period? And I said, yeah, I got a lot of stuff. So that's when we came out with the Be Intelligent EP. And that, you know, we're talking about limited edition releases because, you know, it's a small label type thing, but records sold out quick, fast, real fast. So now there's just more demand for my stuff. So people started saying, all right, you got anything new? So there was a number of things I did. There was the Lo-Fi Theory EP, not Lo-Fi
Yep.
Theory. Yeah, Lo-Fi Theory.
Yeah,
I
Lo-Fi
forgot
Theory. Yep.
myself. I get
Yep.
it mixed up with Low End Theory.
Right.
That's where I kind of bit the name from. But yeah, Lo-Fi Theory on Puma Strut. They put that
Yep.
out. And I think that was 2005 too.
Yeah.
And then me and Paul Nice did the Never Stop Digging record and had a joint with Joran Bombay on the other side of that. And now, you know, everything is pretty much well received. So now my rap career is back in business again. You know what I mean?
Resurrected.
Yeah, man. I never would have guessed in a million years that anything like that would have happened. I wasn't pushing for it or anything. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
You know?
You're a dope MC, dude. There's no question.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Like you never lost a step, you know?
Thank
Or if anything, you got better. So
that's kind of how I feel, you know. I think, depends on how I feel on that day, but generally I think I think I've gotten better with it, and I got more in the tank. So we'll see what happens from here.
Yeah.
Did you?
Oh, go ahead, Chuck.
Did you do all the cover art for your stuff?
Not all of it, but a lot of it.
It's
so
dope.
like for on DWG after the Be Intelligent EP, we did the All Cuts Recorded Raw LP. And that I did all the art on that. If you've ever seen that before, it's a lot of art on that. And even back on the original On Tempo Jack in '88, I did all the artwork on that too, the logo and the art on the B side. So yeah, I've done a lot of it. I didn't do all of it. Like for the Joran PMC album I did with Joran Bombay, that's the great Dan Lish did the art for that. The same guy who did for M-Rock and Nordic One's album.
Tower of Babylon. Yep.
Yeah,
and I've had Dan Lish.
Yeah. And I've had other people who've done art too. I really don't like doing it all the time. I like to get other people get their skills out there as well. So yeah, but I've done a lot of it.
Yeah, it's dope stuff, man.
Thank you.
Somebody I'd seen I think it was on Twitter the other day. Somebody had shouted out the Febreze brothers. And, and they said, I think it was the album, and they said if you have this record, you know how difficult it is to get the record back into the sleeve because of the packaging or something like that.
Yeah,
the packaging
that
was,
one.
was
Yeah,
kinda...
that one was that was the brainchild of oh my God, what's I'm having a brain freeze right now. How am I not thinking of my man's name right now? I don't even know why. I'm getting old, man. What can I tell you? But
it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, well, yeah, he came up with the whole idea of having this gatefold die cut cover. Yeah, and it's hell trying to get the record out. You might as well just leave it out after that. Don't even try to put it back in there. But it looks so dope. It looks incredible. You know what I mean? So, that's one of the things we try to do too. Try to do some out of the box. Mr. Crumb, of course.
Mr. Crumb, yes.
Yeah, why am I not remembering that? Sorry, Crumb. But yeah, but we really came with he came up with some incredible designs for some of our stuff, man. Really, really for one of the other Febreze records, the one that features my guy, Peyton Locke, rest in power. Yeah. He came up with the 3D cover where you gotta have the 3D glasses to see it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Right.
Yeah. And that was, just came up with some really unique ideas to try to give people something special. So it's not just music; it's also something that that's a little bit special. Yeah,
I gotta give a shout out to you for that, because you guys were kind of doing the collectible stuff before it became in vogue to do the collectible stuff.
Yeah. Like again, it's the whole thing is trying to give people something special. It's easy just to press up a record and put it out there, but no, let's give you something a little bit more than that. You know what I mean? And I think people have appreciated it. Every now and then you get a little bit of backlash, like, why are we spending this much for this? Why don't you just trust me, we don't make a lot of money off any of that stuff. It's not for the money. It's about, just trying to give something that's real dope, and that's what it's all about.
Yep. There's a lot of truth there, man. People don't realize that we go the extra yard with the packaging just to do it, to make something cool.
No doubt. So you guys know, you understand from putting out so many records, and it's a labor of love, no doubt.
It is. I love doing handmade stuff when I can, Yeah.
And we grew up on liner notes. I mean, it's a lost art.
Absolutely.
I mean, everything I know about hip hop was gleaned from liner notes. Nothing better than coming home, getting on the bed, throwing it on, and just reading all of it.
Dude, with like current.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you.
with like current records, do they even do that anymore? Do they do liner notes? Do they do that kind of like mainstream like rap? Do they do that anymore?
I don't think. I mean, it's just kind of.
I had a big conversation with a buddy of mine who does a podcast here in Kentucky, and it's called Black in the Bluegrass, which is a dope podcast. It'll be launching soon. Shameless plug for him. He doesn't listen to our show, but whatever. So I told him, he's always talking about Drake, and he's probably a few years younger than me. I'm 50. And I told him, I was like, I just can't get with the new stuff. And he was like, why? And I was like, to me, there's no art to it, like the liner notes, the history part, the culture part, all the things that come with it. And, he kind of convinced me that I need to examine some of it, because he said, it's a different era and cats aren't talking about the same things that when you were growing up in the heyday of classic, what I deem the best hip hop. They just don't do it anymore. And, it's kind of sad to me. My kids are going to grow up and they're not going to, unless they get involved or interested in older music, they're just not going to have that. And to me, that was a highlight of my youth, so.
Yeah, I think when it comes to that, this is their era. This is what it is for them. We had our era. The people before us didn't understand our era either. And I think, I don't try to like the music that's coming out now. I'm not even trying to like it. And but I hear some of it and I do like it. It's not because I'm trying to. It's just I hear something that hits my ear and it's cool. But I realize this music, it's different. It's a different thing. It's not for me, most of it. And I really don't consider it hip hop. Some people
Amen.
When some people get offended if you say, "Oh, it's not hip hop," or like you're dissing them. No, I'm not dissing you. I'm just telling it like it is. It's not hip hop. It's rap music.
Yeah.
But I think there was rap music before hip hop, and hip hop is from a certain time period and a certain sound. It had certain things that made it what it was, and I think they're doing something different now. And I don't begrudge them. Hey, do your thing. That's all right with me. It's not for me though. It's for them.
Pop music can take many forms, and
No
what
doubt.
I think people need to recognize is that you can rap it and make a pop record, but it's very obviously you're trying to make a pop record because you're trying to get it on the radio and you're trying to do this and that with it, and which is fine. It's like you said, it's not a diss. It just is what it is.
No doubt.
It's not hip hop.
And is it me, or is it like all they're trying to do is make pop records? I mean, mean, maybe it's just what I hear. Maybe there's other stuff out there that's where they're really doing some underground stuff. And I know they probably some of the stuff they do they think is underground. To me, it all sounds like pop music. Everything I hear, it sounds like pop music. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm from a different day and time, man. What can I say?
Right, and we love that. That's why you're on the show.
Yes.
So, if you don't mind telling us, how old are your kids?
My kids? My daughter Akila, she is 23. She just graduated from Philadelphia College of the Arts. And
congrats.
My son, man, I am so proud. Yeah. And my son is 20, and he's a junior at Penn State. Just started his junior year at Penn State.
Wow.
So what side are they kind of gravitating towards? What do they think about Dad's art and the music from back in that era?
They're cool with it. It's not for them for the most part.
Yeah.
I see my son sometimes. He kind of seems like he tries to get in a little bit of that stuff, but he's into the music of the day, which that's what you're supposed to be. If you're 20 years old, you're supposed to be in the music of the day. And I tried to like when they were young and in the car, I always played old music for them. Whether it's hip hop or just regular music, just so they could hear some of that, and maybe it'll rub off on them in some way later on. But no, they're a product of this time. They like today's music, and I'm fine with that. If someday they want to delve into the past and what music used to sound like, hey, I got a ton of it for them. So
Right.
Yeah,
they don't have to go far.
There you go.
Right. How much do you have? How many? Just guesstimate.
Okay, so records at one time at my apex, I had like about 20,000 albums and 45s. I sold a lot of my best records now, so I'm down to a measly 10,000 or so now, I would say.
Small record store.
Yeah, pretty much. But the thing is now, I went buck wild with the MP3 collection. So now I couldn't even tell you how many MP3s I have. I have so much stuff. I can never listen to this much music, but I got tons and tons of high quality MP3s. That's what I'm collecting now.
That's what's up.
It's a little easier on the storage space, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not trying to get any more records because now at some point I'm going to move out of the house I'm in now. And it's going to be a pain in the ass. I'm just going to tell you. Because it almost killed me moving my records into this house. And I was way younger than I am now. So I don't even want to think about moving all these records to the next house. I'll have to pay somebody to.
I was going to say, you got to pay somebody.
Yeah. I don't even want to think about it. I hope I can sell what I have left before I decide to move. But, we'll see.
Yeah, man, it's I love my records until I have to move, and then the worst thing ever.
Yeah, man.
So then we don't even want to ask you what you think about vinyl coming back.
I think it's great for somebody else. Not that I'm not. I'm pretty much done with vinyl. Right now, if there's a record I can't find on a high quality MP3 and I really want it, I'll still buy the vinyl, but it's rare at this point. There's nothing I want that bad that I'm going to buy vinyl and add to this mess I have in my basement now. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm pretty much done.
Do you still have your stuff?
Oh yeah. I still have I have a lot of it, but like the original On Tempo Jack, as I told you before, that became a very valuable record. So I said, let me go ahead and make some money off of these. I didn't make any money off of it when it first came out. So let me make money off of what I have left. So the record went up to, I sold copies for as much as $700 a pop.
Wow.
Yeah. It was going for a lot of money at one time. Wow. So what I had left in my stash, I sold all of them. I may have maybe about 2 or 3 copies left, and that's it. The thing about it though is when I got married and I moved from my apartment into the new apartment with my wife, I had all these records sitting in the closet, original On Tempo Jacks, and I just didn't feel like carrying them, and I threw a whole lot of them away, man. I threw boxes of them away. Man, boxes. So that's one of those stories, man.
Those are the worst. Chuck told me, because I didn't even know it existed until a few years ago, that they were for performance purposes. They had instrumentals of Yo Bum Rush the Show.
Oh, word?
Yes. And they had boxes of them down in the old 510 studio in Hempstead. And when they left out of there, they left them there.
Wow.
I'm like, bro, what? What did you do?
I hate to hear stories like that.
Oh,
Man.
it's the worst.
My God. Oh my God.
It's the worst. Yes.
And you know, some janitor came in there and cleaning it up for the next person that leased the building. They're like, "What the fuck is this?" Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just dumped them. Oh my God. Oh,
yeah. The
painful.
tragedy. Yeah, that hurts.
Well, that's like Yag Fu Front not having a copy of Action Packed Adventure.
Oh
and
yeah.
you can't find them.
Nope. You
Well,
can't
that's
find
And they don't have a single copy.
That's the thing, and that always shocked me, because I always kept all my stuff for other than those records I threw boxes away of.
Right.
But yeah, a lot of artists just don't care about keeping copies. There's so many that, you know, you ask them, do they have this or do they? And they're like, nah, I don't have any copies of it at all. In fact, there've been some artists who I've given them copies of their own records.
Yeah.
Or also I collect the old school tapes from the jams, the park jams back in the days.
Oh,
And
word.
a lot, I've given some of the MCs, I've given them copies of some of those tapes too. So they didn't have anything. They didn't keep anything from back in those days.
Wow. That's
Which is,
dope.
like I said, it's amazing to me.
Yeah.
Because it's such a big thing to me, but to them, it's it's just something they did. You know, it's not that
Right.
important.
Right. It wasn't at the time. In retrospect, it's like, oh man.
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
know.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, speaking of that, another thing I did back in the days. Matter of fact, let me say this as well. People know me as being from Philly, and I was born in Philly, and I have lived here in Philly for most of my life. I actually grew up right outside of New York. I grew up in Connecticut.
Okay.
And this was back in the 70s, in the early days of hip hop. And I did flyers. I drew flyers for some of the crews back in the early days of hip hop. So there are actually like flyers that I did back then that I didn't save any of those. I wish I would have, because now those are collectible. People are collecting old flyers.
Yeah.
And I did a bunch of those back then. Yeah, there's a group from Mount Vernon, New York, the Collins brothers, and for a while I was their flyer guy. Wow. And plus a lot of other shows that happened around that time. It's like, oh my God, I wish I had that stuff now. You know? Yeah,
I know, right?
Yeah, man.
It's funny because it's the history. And just trying to document it and preserve it just so people know. But at the time, I get it. At the time, you're just like, I'm doing a flyer for a show, whatever.
You never know there's going to be something that people are going to even care about later.
Yeah.
You know, you have no idea that's going to happen. So.
Yep.
Well, and after a certain amount of time, certain things get kind of lost in the shuffle. Yeah. I know, like Wise is the only one who still has like a lot of the things from Stetsasonic back in whenever, 88. All of Daddy-O doesn't have a thing.
Wow.
Most of the guys don't have one stitch of anything. Yeah. And now here they come back, and all that stuff is bye-bye.
Yeah, I think part of that too is the feeling in hip hop that at a certain point things get played out, and and people are not thinking that one day this may have any kind of value at all. They're like, it's played out now. We've moved on to the next thing, So they just don't care about old stuff. You know what I mean? I've always cared about keeping things. I keep everything. I'm a hoarder.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because I'm actually impressed that hip hop, that, like you said, your record that didn't sell when it first came out, but then became a collector's item later. I'm actually impressed that has happened, because hip hop got so disposable there for a while, and it just seemed like there were a small group of people that were trying to, like, archive, preserve, so on and so forth. But I'm very impressed that it has come back around, that people are now searching for that stuff. They're looking for those lost gems and trying to preserve them, or reissue them, so on and so forth.
Yeah, it was shocking to me to find out that was happening. Like when I found out that my record had become something that people were looking for, I should have been able to see it because I was a collector of funk and soul and all these other
Right.
kinds of records. I should have figured at some point, yeah, it's going to happen with rap. I
Yeah.
couldn't see it though. I didn't see it at all,
Yeah. Yeah. But
Who's
I'm
your
glad it did.
Yeah,
No
yeah, no
doubt.
doubt, no
It's
doubt.
all of us trying to recapture our youth.
Yeah.
So you said you were a collector of soul and funk. What's your go-to? Like if you know, if you could only keep 2-3 records, what are they?
Oh no, I couldn't even tell you that, man. It's too many and too many different types of music that I like. Yeah, there's no one genre I could just say, you know, I mean, I probably would have to say soul or funk, I guess, but really it, you know, I love other genres too much. There's a lot of
Yeah.
rock I love, man. There's a lot of rock I love. I grew up on, like I said, in the New York area in the 70s. The station was 77 WABC, and that was light rock. That was like just, you know, pop rock, whatever.
Yeah.
I still love that kind of music. I love light rock to this day,
Yeah.
as well as classic rock and hard rock and progressive and you name it. Yeah, I get down with all kinds of music, man. You name it, you know. So for me to really be able to say one genre, yeah, I couldn't even do it, man. I couldn't even do it.
Fair enough.
All right, so let me ask you this, and you know, you might be able to answer this, maybe not. But what is either the rarest record you have,
Mm,
or the one you're most proud of that you have, that you were
okay.
able to find?
The rarest record I no longer have because I sold everything that was, you know, really high value. Almost everything. There's a few things I still have. Probably the most valuable record I had and the one that I made the most money off of was DJ AJ. That's the joint, which I sold to a cat from Japan for $4,000.
Wow.
Yeah, that was, I believe, the most valuable record I had. I don't even remember where I got the record from. You know, when I was getting records, records would just pop up in my collection, and I'm like, where'd this come from? I don't remember getting this at all, and it would just be there, and it's something that's worth, you know, hundreds of dollars. So that would be the most valuable. I'm trying to think, like, and again, like if you're talking about like favorite record or anything like that, I couldn't even.
No, I was just saying, like I know there's like some collectors have Holy Grail records. Like, oh man, I've been looking for this forever. I didn't know if you had any ones of those that you were like, you finally found it, like a rare break or something like that, and you're like, oh, I finally got this, you know.
No, I don't think so. Like I said, it's too many records. There's no one that stands out in my mind. I can say this: the one record that I never found out in the field, and to this day I've never owned a copy of an original of, is the Skull Snaps record.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, and I mean, I could have bought it on eBay for $100. I never did that because I wanted to find it out in the field.
Yeah,
I was at a record show in New York back in the days, and a guy was right next to me, digging right next to me, and pulled one for $10.
Oh,
and like if he hadn't been there, I was going right to that crate. I would have got it.
Oh man.
So that was the white whale for me, just because that was something that I really wanted.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to cheat for it. I wanted to get it out in the field and find it that way. And I never did.
Yeah. Yeah. I got the CD.
Okay. Hey, great music. Great music.
Great music.
Oh,
Yep.
God, dude, that album is dope.
Yeah. That's good. That's the good stuff.
By the way, we were talking about records. Do you guys know about my history with the record shows in New York, the Roosevelt Record Convention or anything?
No, please tell.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. So, yeah. After I was doing the rap sheet articles and everything, people were telling me about the Roosevelt Record Show. And if you don't know about the Roosevelt Record Show, this is where all the top producers in hip hop from the 90s would go to buy records. Okay. And a lot of these records, you know, cost a lot of money. So I went there and did an article in Rap Sheet, World of Beats column about it. Again, that was kind of a big deal. Then I actually started selling at the Roosevelt record show. And that's how, again, making the tapes, the Archaeologist classics and the World of Beats tapes, all that came about at the same time. So I was selling records to like all the top producers in New York, pretty much anybody you name from the 90s, other than the only person I didn't see there was maybe Primo, maybe a couple others, but everybody else was there. I was selling records to all of them. So, you know, a lot of us dealers at those shows, and there were guys who were doing it way before me who really, really did their thing. But a lot of those guys shaped the sound of hip hop in the 90s. You know, the sound of hip hop in the 90s would have been way different if not for the Roosevelt record show and a lot of those deals what they were supplying to the producers. And I'm not trying to take anything away from the producers. They still had to make the beats with those records. But that was a big part of hip hop that a lot of people don't even know anything about.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember hearing stories about the Roosevelt record show. I think interviews with producers talking about going out there where they would go digging and stuff. So I had heard about it. I didn't realize that you were there as a seller. That's dope.
Yeah. I went there first as just where, like everybody else, just buying records and politicking and, you know, kicking it with people. But then I started seeing all these records. I'm like, I got a lot of these records. They want how much for it, you know? And then I was like, all right, then let me start selling. So I started selling as well. And I did that from probably like about 95 to maybe 98, 99, maybe something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Until the record show started falling off.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever make it out to Jerry's Records in Pittsburgh out here?
I never made it to Jerry's. Oh, you're in Pittsburgh?
I am, yes.
Okay. Now, I heard a lot about Jerry's. I never went out there because I just didn't feel like driving all the way out to Pittsburgh. I just didn't feel like doing it. I started to a number of times. I just never did it. But yeah, I heard all about it. And then was that the place they had a big did they have a big flood there or something?
That's that was the Attic, which is on the other side of town down in Millville, which I go to as well a lot. And yo, man, that was I cried that day. I remember they got hit with a big the whole region got hit with a bad flood, and they had a pile of records out in the street that just
that's what I remember. I think there was a picture. Somebody took a picture of that, all the records out in the street and everything. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, they still got a shit ton of records there, so you know. Shout out to the Attic. But there's them, and then Jerry's was the other place, and Jerry that owned it has since passed on, but he sold it to guys that work for him. They've kept it open, so it's another dope spot. I got to get down there. I haven't been down there in a minute. So
that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So it was DJ AJ, going back just a few minutes ago. Was that the DJ AJ of Curtis Blow and Busy Bee fame, or is
same
that
DJ AJ? Yep, same guy. Yeah,
Gotcha.
For some reason, I actually heard the backstory on this, but for some reason they got him to rap on the record, and DJ AJ was not a rapper; he was a DJ, but they got him to rap on the record, and I wish I could tell you exactly the whole story behind what happened with that record. They put it out and then they pulled it back or something. I can't remember exactly, but whatever it was, there wasn't a lot of copies of it available. And somehow I got one of them and found out again. Like it's shocking to me, it's worth all this money. So hey, yep.
Phil, you made me feel better because I do the same thing. I go looking through my records for something, and I'm like, I have this? When the hell did I get this? You know, so
yeah.
I thought it was just me, man. Thank you. Okay.
No, that like it happens to me all the time. It's like just like really valuable records. And it's like they appeared magically. Where did this record come from? I don't remember getting this record at all. But I think a lot of record collectors can say the same thing. You know, if you have a lot of records, after a while, you can't keep track of everything you picked up. At the time you got it, it might not have been a big deal, but now it is. And wow, look at this. I got it. All right.
Yep. I remember giving stuff. I remember giving stuff away, and then I found out later. I'm like, this record's worth a lot of money. I'm like, damn it, you know. But
well, that's good.
Go ahead.
That's good karma though, to give records away. So don't feel bad about that.
No,
that's good karma. The record guys love that.
Yeah, never feel bad about giving away records.
That's something I try to do whenever I can. You know, because the record guys have been good to me. I've got, like you said, these records that just appear in my collection that are valuable. Hey, look, you pay them back, pay it forward, and give somebody a good record. You know.
Yep,
that's
indeed.
Cool. Yeah, if you ever create a database of that and get the actual, amount that you could get for that collection, you might not have to move it because your wife would be like, "We're getting rid of this."
Right. Yep.
So it was interesting today because also on Twitter I was scrolling and somebody had shouted out M-Rock's album and said it was their favorite. What is it? Favorite album of the year? I think maybe something like that. And then they had put up a tweet that said, "I've never heard Phill Most Chill on a weak track. He could flow over a car alarm and still sound dope."
Wow, that's big. I appreciate that. I don't know if it's true, but I'll take it.
Yeah, man. I thought that was great. So I also put the link. I'm like, he's gonna be on my show tonight. So yep. Had to shout you out. But it was great that they were showing M-Rock's album, M-Rock and Nordic One, and you're on two of those joints. Showing love. You fit in there like a glove, bro.
That is going to be on some album of the year list, for no doubt. Yeah. No doubt. That's a dope album.
It is. And I know they really put in the work, so I'm glad it finally came to fruition. Glad you're a part of it, because I know M-Rock was when we were talking about it, and he was talking about his wish list of MCs. He's like, I got to get Phill Most Chill on it. I'm like, oh, dope. Okay. He kind of surprised me with that one. I didn't expect that, but M-Rock knows this. He knows his stuff. So
he does. He definitely knows his stuff. That's somebody who loves hip hop. You can tell just from talking to him. He loves hip hop. So for him to want to have me on his project, that's big to me. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So what do you got going on now? What are you working on? Anything you want to let the people know about, or is it too early yet?
Yeah, no. Well, all right. So I already have pretty much in the can an album with my guys, DJ Snafu and DJ Grasshopper, and that's the Analog Mutants joint where we're we call ourselves the Brothers of what do we call ourselves? Brothers of Invention. Yeah, Brothers of Invention, stepping all over convention. Yeah, we try to do like just some really different kinds of hip hop. Still real hip hop, but we're doing some different things with it. So that Analog Mutants album that should be coming out hopefully next year. Okay. Other than that, there's a ton of other projects. I've been working with this cat named Hosey, and he's got some incredible music. I'm hoping to do an album on Spitsland. We'll see how that goes. I need beats, man. What's up?
Yeah. I got you. I know. I've been slacking a bit, but I got you. It's
all good. It's all good. Yeah. It's all good. Yeah. Hey, look, we do what we can do when we can do it. That's
exactly
how it goes. So
yep.
Hopefully we can get it though, man. I would really like that. And and I got stuff with there's so many dope producers who I've been lucky enough to work with. And I don't want to leave any names out, so I know I'm going to forget somebody, but it's just a lot of stuff that, and it's always, it's not even me pushing to do anything. It's people coming to me and saying, hey, we want to work with you, or we want to do this with you. And I'm just really thankful that here in these latter stages of my of my career or whatever, that I'm still people still want to work with me and make music, and some people still want to buy the records. So hey, I'll keep doing it as long as I can keep doing it.
Hey man, you are a master at your craft, and hip hop is blessed to have you. So that's as far as I'm concerned.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Man, definitely. So want to backtrack a little bit because I don't know how accurate this is, but some of it's probably kind of accurate. But today was a pretty big release date for some albums here in the past. I'm gonna share the screen. My son Davey and I posted them up on Instagram. Some of them. We didn't get all of them. Let me try to. All right, and we'll talk about these a little bit.
Just so you know, too. Just so you know, I think my battery's going to be dying on my phone pretty soon.
Okay.
So if I fade out, that's why.
Yep, no problem.
I'm running out of power.
we understand. Damn it, Chuck. How do I share the screen?
Where it says present.
Oh yeah. No, not slides. What the hell? Present screen. Oh, there we go. Okay, here we go. So the first one. There we go. Common's Resurrection album.
Dope album.
Yeah, dope album. But do you remember that record when it dropped, Phil?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I loved it. Really loved the Resurrection remix too. That came out a little bit later by Extra P, Large
Extra
Professor.
P. Yeah.
But the whole Resurrection album, yeah, that's classic material, no doubt.
Yes. Shout out to No ID, who did a lot of the production on that record. Okay, let's see what else. Gangstar's Suck His Knee Bodyguard single.
Oh yeah, of course. Gangstar could do no wrong in those days.
Bro. I like Suck His Knee Bodyguards, but this had The Question Remains as the B-side.
Yeah.
Joint.
Yeah, classic Primo, no doubt.
Classic Primo. Yep.
Yeah, man.
Okay. And then this one, not sure, but we'll take it anyway. PE's Night of the Living Basshead single.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, of course, you know that. I was thinking of a certain year, but this is just this date in
just this date. So it would have been 88. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Again, game changer. Just life changing music right there. You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely. Especially, I have to agree with that because I was a little late to PE. It was the first PE song I heard, and it was just like, what is this? You know?
Yeah.
What is this, and where can I get more of it?
Yeah, so. What Public Enemy was doing at that time, it was like you couldn't even fathom.
Yeah.
That music could be made like that. You know what I'm saying? It was unbelievable. And it's like every time you hear a new one by PE, your mind is blown even more than the last one. It's like, you know what I mean? Really?
Yes.
Really.
Yep.
Unbelievable music. To this day, to me, that's the top album. The It Takes a Nation of Millions album. Yes. To me, to this day, that's the best album in hip hop history.
That is a valid point. Yes.
Just my opinion. You know, I know a lot of things have come since then that people like, but to me, that's still
I'm with you.
That's on top for me.
Hands down.
Nations is hard to beat. And the other one we posted, Ultramagnetic MC's Critical Beatdown.
Again, one of my top albums all time. Time. There's no fast forward on that album. It's all dope and it's all real hip hop from start to beginning. Yeah, that's in my top 10 all time hip hop records.
Yeah. Shout out to Ultramag. We had said and Keith on a couple episodes ago. They were dope and they got new stuff coming out, which is always great to hear. Always gotta love when new Ultramagnetic on the way. So we have a question for Phil. How did the Rampagers 45 vinyl project with Joran Bombay happen?
Okay. Yeah, so how that happened, I'm trying to remember which record came first. It was I know my guy Oxygen. In fact, this is how it happened. I was doing the album with DJ Format. And Format had done a beat for my guy Oxygen. We ended up using it for our album, for me and Format's album. We got Oxygen on it, and then at first we were supposed to have Mikey D on the record as well.
Nice.
Yeah, that would have been dope. But for whatever reason, he couldn't make it. So we got M-Ski on it. And M-Ski, tore it down. You know what I'm saying? So that was Triple Threat MCs was the name of that song.
Oh, word,
So,
right.
Yeah. So from there, I believe the next thing we really liked that record. So we decided to do some more stuff together. So then we did, I guess it was the Rampage. We did a remix of EPMD's Rampage with LL Cool J.
Yeah.
And that's when we came up with the name Rampagers. That's why, because we did the Rampage remix.
Gotcha.
And that's where that all came from. The person asking the question, I don't know if that's the record they were talking about and asking how that came to be, because we did a few records after that. But that's how it all started from there.
I also, by the way, a little side note, I love that you had Joran PMC. That was just
yeah.
great.
Yeah, that was a little joke, I guess I came up with, because Joran and and the whole idea of that album was that we're gonna like bring back 80s hip hop.
Yeah.
So we said, Joran PMC, that's like perfect. That's just what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring back that Run DMC sound. Of course, there's no duplications or no way you can replicate Run DMC, but our take on that era of music, and that's what we did.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Well, Phil, thank you. I know your phone's gonna die. Appreciate you coming through, man.
Man, pleasure's all mine, fellas and lady.
And definitely looking forward to new stuff. And I will send you beats, and we'll make that Spit Slam album happen. Really looking forward to that.
Sweet.
All right, that's what's up.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me, everybody.
Yep, appreciate it, sir.
Thanks.
All right, peace.
Peace.
All right,
Dope
there
show.
it is.
Dope
Phill
show.
Most Chill. Yeah.
Fucking dope show.
I love getting the spotlight artists that a lot of people may not know about. I know we got heads that watch this show, so they tune in and they know the history. But like for those that don't know, go check out Phill Most Chill stuff.
Yeah.
I think the first time I heard him was for Breeze Brothers, and I was like, yo, this dude is dope, and I didn't even know the history at that point, and so then I had to go digging from there. But man,
I mean, he really is a great MC. I was re-listening to some stuff today. I was like, damn, this motherfucker flows.
Yep.
Well, even what he pulled off on M-Rock's thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep. He's one of those MCs that makes it sound effortless. So.
And he's a good dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
And we like those.
We like the good dudes.
Yeah. Makes up for Jenny.
It does, yeah. Because I'm just rotten to the core. Horrendous.
Oh, come on, Jen.
Huge bitch.
Come on, Jen.
That was a great interview.
Yeah, that was good. Really enjoyed that one. So, yeah.
Well, y'all realize next week, everybody listening, everybody watching, fucking 50th episode.
50th episode, yep. And
15 weeks in a row.
And you know what else? Jen and I were talking about not only that, coming up shortly thereafter, not too far along, is going to be our 1 year episode. So
yeah, that would be 52. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's actually technically 54 by the time that when we get to the week where we started. I don't know how that works, but yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
You guys and Jenny are Ultra Mag 7's faves.
Oh.
Jenny always gets called out by name. The only time I get called out by name is like, has he ordered his pizza yet? Which I'm getting ready to do, by the way. So
fucking recognize already, would you?
I'm going to order my pizza.
I love your Tuesday night pizza run. So
Voodoo Scratch. Jenny interview yet? No.
We're trying.
Jesus Christ, man! She could talk. She could do a 24-hour show and still not get through all the stories.
Oh, CM. Ah.
Oh, CM he's a ass.
You're right, Mara, because I'm the boss.
I am
a boss.
Somebody gotta be.
somebody found that diamond in the rough and said, you know what? You should bring your shit to the screen.
That's right.
And the rest is history.
You know, Jen, I know the guys you work with, so you got to be the boss to put up with them. So.
What do you call yourself, Jen? I love it when she calls herself this.
Where are you, Sunshine? I know you're there. I'm the den mother for Troop 907. Yeah. For the most unruly Boy Scouts you could ever want to meet. Right, Ultra Mag? You got it.
No, that's funny.
That's what's up.
The den mother. You had the sash and everything.
I am the den mother. You guys are severely lacking. You're not getting any badges. You're not getting any.
We don't need those stinking badges.
No patches for any of you. Dre, thank you. I don't know. I would like to know who you are, but thank you.
Dre May's been up in here a couple of weeks in a row.
Yeah. Shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was commenting when I went on my little tirade last week.
Oh yes. Your rant. The rant of all.
When I lost my shit. Yeah.
That was a historic moment in It's C-Doc Again history. Yes.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Go check that out on episode 48.
The one time you ever hear me say anything, and I lost my shit.
And if you like that rant, please like and subscribe because we would appreciate it.
Might be a good time to run your promo.
I was just about to do that. As always, It's C-Doc Again is brought to you by the Spit Slam Record Label Group.
The Spit Slam Record Label Group, a Chuck D situation. Catch us on your favorite streaming platform, on Bandcamp, or visit our official web store at spitslamrecords.com. All releases are available digitally or on CD, with select titles available on vinyl and cassette. The Spit Slam Record Label Group. Throwback to the future sound.
Back to the future sound.
I tell you what, Voodoo Scratch, maybe one of these days you guys can have a ask me anything.
We should do that. Actually, you know what would be great, Jen? We should try to do a K-Day episode.
Yes.
We should try to do a K-Day episode. Get your old cohorts on here and let you guys run ragged and tell stories, because that would be fantastic stuff.
Run rampant and
tear
shit up.
Tear shit up. That would be good stuff.
What did Greg Mack? I've heard him call us the world's most dangerous radio station or something.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, Jenny could spin off Voodoo Scratch. She could spin off her own show.
Yep.
She won't, but she could.
Nails and Rap with
Jenny. She loves us too much. There it is. All right, so I don't think we have a guest for next week yet, do we?
For our 50th episode? No, of course we don't.
Why
would we do that? Jenny was supposed to be getting iced tea, but apparently Coco's doing something, so they're not available.
Yeah. We'll get somebody. We'll get somebody on. Well,
why was I supposed to be doing something?
Because you got all the fucking connections, dude.
We'll do something special. Or we won't.
Yes, Voodoo Scratch.
We'll just show up and have fun. Yeah.
Are you just calling my name Voodoo? Or are you just... Or is there something you wanted to say? Jenny.
I want another special Chuck D episode, because I wasn't available for that one, where he deconstructs music and our message.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Do that. Is that what you're laughing at? Yeah, you know what? Too. Oh shit, I don't have it out. The other day, Wait, I can pull that up actually, and let me pull that up. The October 1st, since we did do that one episode that was talked about.
Most of my heroes don't appear on those stamps.
Exactly. So October, there's the missus. So October.
Oh my
1st,
gosh, it's the hands.
Yeah, there she
And
is.
the eyes. Two hands.
And the eyes, the hands and the eyes. October 1st was the 10-year anniversary of the evil empire of everything. So yeah,
dude, that one track on there that I mean is my shit is the second god damn it, what's the name of it? Is Riot started the like the second edition of
Right
Starter. Yeah.
Right Starter. Yes. Yeah.
Dude, that track fucking rocks.
With Tom Morello, featuring Tom Morello.
Is that who's on it?
Yeah, he plays the guitar on it. Yeah.
Shit, dude. That track is the jam.
Yeah.
And that's not on Spotify, unfortunately. So if I have to listen, listen to it, I have to listen to it on vinyl, which is not terrible. I just can't jam it right now.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Empire.
Horrible.
Empire's not on. Did I send you a CD?
I don't think so.
Oh, I think I have some.
But I have it on vinyl.
Okay.
I don't have a CD player in my car, so.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was maybe we'll have Mr. Chuck come on and talk about that. It was interesting. That working on those two records was really interesting. I'll put it that way. What was funny about that record was, of the two, we call them the twins. I thought that was going to be the less accessible record.
Mm-hmm.
And when all the reviews came out and people started talking about it, that was the one they liked more. So, what do I know?
Interesting.
Yeah, because I thought Most of My Heroes was kind of for lack of a better term, a more accessible record.
Another one that's not on Spotify.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, we're in the process of trying to fix all that. So, not that we like Spotify. Fuck Spotify. But anyway,
Yeah.
Wow.
they don't pay shit.
Coming in hot on that one.
But yeah, when we put those two records together, I thought Empire was going to be the more challenging record because it had just some of the more interesting records, and people really dug it and responded to it. But I guess it's a Public Enemy record, so
That's right. I don't care what's on it. We're going to fucking buy it.
Yeah. So yeah, really, really proud of that one. I got to work with Griff on Beyond Trayvon. That was cool.
That's who we need for 50th. Get Griff on here.
Call the professor.
Call the professor.
I am a professor, professional rap, a specialist terrorizing MCs as if I was a terrorist. There you go.
L-A-D.
Yep. He called me once and I answered the phone. I spit that to him and he started laughing. He goes, "Shut up, man."
Griff might not be available. He's got all kinds of shit popping off.
Yep. This is busy fella. So
busy fella. Yeah, that's exactly what he is. Busy fella.
That's a way to describe Griff right there. He's a busy fella.
The ex-minister. But yes. So shout out to everybody that worked on the Most of My Heroes and Evil Empire of Everything. 10 years. Crazy. 10 years.
Goes quick.
It does. Time waits for no man. So, but yes, we will figure it out. So join us next week, everybody, for episode 50, the big 50 of It's C-Doc again. We'll do something special. We'll do something interesting anyway. I got a couple ideas. Magic 8 Ball. What does Magic 8 Ball say?
Magic 8 Ball says, "Will we have a high-powered guest for season or episode 50?" It says, "Fuck, I gotta turn my lights on. I can't see shit." It says, "Concentrate and ask again." All right, are we gonna have a super dope? Well, all our guests are super dope, but let's see. My reply is no.
All right. There you go.
Fuck that 8-ball. It's never right.
You know, Hype, real quick before we go, 10 years, double this deluxe version someday. There's not really anything left. You know, everything that we did for that record is it's on those records, you know. I don't know if there was anything. I don't think there was anything left over. We pretty much, Chuck's a firm believer in if we record it, put it out somewhere. So yeah, I think most of everything that we did ended up on that record. There might be a stray remix here or there. That's about it. But I would like to get them. Definitely would like to get them reissued at least digitally, so they're up on all platforms, so people can access them. And we also would love to, get some re-releases of some of the stuff that wasn't on wax. Some of the post Def Jam stuff that never came out on vinyl. So, trying to see what we can do. Fingers crossed, in the works. There it is. But radio edit of Real Talk, that's all I can think of. Maybe. I don't remember. But yeah. All right. Jennifer, so Chuckified, thank you. Appreciate you guys. As always, appreciate everybody watching tonight, everybody watching on the replay. And we will see you all again next week on It's C-Doc Again.
Absolutely.
Peace, y'all.
It's C-Doc again.